And I just want everybody to remember that smile. Zayla was always smiling.
Loved ones of a pregnant college student are remembering the teen fondly after she was tragically murdered at the hands of her boyfriend. 19-year-old Zayla Bronson was a student at Wichita State University. Her family says she was 16 weeks pregnant with her first child and excited to be a new mother.
She didn't care if it was a girl or a boy. When she found out it was a boy, now I can put a sex to the baby. But it was supposed to have been a big gender reveal or, a big party and announce, um, the baby's name and everything. But we didn't get to that point.
According to authorities, on August 26th of this year, officers were dispatched to an apartment after a mother reported that her son had called her and told her that he had strangled his girlfriend. Officials say they later received a separate call from 22-year-old Alexander Lewis, who had reported being in a fight with his girlfriend Zayla Bronson, during which he strangled her. Once officers arrived to the scene, they found no one at Zayla's apartment, but were able to ping Lewis's phone, tracking him down to his apartment. According to Lewis's arrest report, Lewis told officers he got scared when asked about Zayla's whereabouts. He allegedly told investigators, quote, "I didn't know what to do. My keys are on the box in the living room. She's in my car." When officers went to check the vehicle and opened the trunk, they made a gruesome discovery. Zayla Bronson is found in the trunk of Lewis's vehicle. Officers say they attempted CPR on Zayla, however, she was pronounced dead. For Zayla's godmother, Dawn Wilson, she says when she received that gut-wrenching call, she was in complete shock.
And I just kept asking, who you say? Who you say? Wait, what?
Lewis was arrested and charged with Zayla's murder. Lewis's arrest report reveals the gruesome details surrounding Zayla's death. Lewis stated to investigators he and Zayla had been dating since January of this year. He told police that she cheated on him and spoke with other men during their relationship, causing them to have issues. The night before Lewis's arrest, he stated Zayla arrived to the apartment where they had an argument resulting in her breaking up with him, and then she left his home. Lewis told investigators he followed Zayla to her apartment, where they continued the argument throughout the night. He said during their fight he grabbed Zayla, then proceeded to choke her by holding her neck in the chokehold position. Investigators say Lewis was unsure how long he had held her for, but she stopped moving. Lewis said he panicked and checked her for any sign of breathing, but she was already dead. Lewis said he got a blanket from Zayla's bed, wrapped her in the blanket, took her lifeless body out to his vehicle, and placed her into the trunk. Police noted several alarming web searches from Lewis's phone on August 25th and August 26th. They included searches for stun guns, weapons that can kill, chokehold, abortion, and snapping necks. The details were so shocking for Dawn, who says Lewis was the father of Zayla's child.
He was the father of her child, which makes it that much more grueling, or you know have that many more questions uh, about why, how did you get to this point? Um, and I think that's the thing, is not knowing the why.
Lewis's arrest affidavit states officers found a roll of duct tape, several water bottles, clothes, flashlights, towels, and trash bags inside Lewis's vehicle, along with Zayla's purse, wallet, ID, and her car keys. After learning these details, Dawn says she believes Zayla's murder was planned.
But when you see things like trash bags, duct tape, shovel, no, that's planned. That's not, I snapped in a moment. That's premeditated.
She tells me she did not learn to what extent how toxic Zayla's relationship with Lewis was. Dawn says as a domestic violence survivor herself, she understands why Zayla may have kept it to herself.
I reached back out to my son like 3 and 4 times a day, like, hey, did she tell you about this guy? And he like, Mom, she made it seem like everything was happy, everything was good to go. But that definitely wasn't the case. Um, but at the same time, if their relationship was as toxic as I've been hearing, and her not saying anything or walking around with a smile on her face, I understand it.
Dawn says she applauds Lewis's own mother for being courageous enough to report her son to authorities.
Because I can't imagine as a mom having to make that call and say, hey, I believe my son has harmed his girlfriend or whatever have you. Turning your son in for something especially so heinous, knowing that it was also your grandchild too.
Dawn says Zayla's family is doing the best they can, coming to terms with the tragic loss.
Mom is doing a lot better than what I think everybody expected her to be. Dad has more more anger, not being there to protect your baby girl. And then as to see like the latest details that had came out about it, that has that that anger, brother and sister dealing with it as best they can while trying to figure out this thing called life without somebody that you've been a part of for your entire life.
Dawn later organized a GoFundMe to help Zayla's family with expenses.
Nobody expects to bury their child, period.
During Zayla's celebration of life, their family wore Zayla's favorite color, representing her bright spirit.
Wanted that celebration of life to be just as vibrant as she was.
Dawn says she'll always remember her goddaughter as a spunky, cheerful, outgoing, and loving person.
She was just so loving, so caring. She is just a sweetheart. And I just want everybody to remember that smile. Zayla was always smiling.
Dawn tells me if anyone is experiencing something similar, they should never be embarrassed to reach out for help. Meanwhile, jail records show Lewis has been charged with capital murder and is still being held behind bars on a $500,000 bond. Reporting for Law&Crime Network, I'm Elizabeth Milner.